Okay, so like I say, this is going to take a little while. We'll just film little bits and pieces of it because it does take some time. We're going to be using a size 7.5 copper core. The important thing to note here when we start is, these blanks are cut out to go with a sort of standard all the way up to size 9, although we don't sell copper in size 9. So you can see that the copper core is only going to go just a bit of the ways into the wood. So spending a whole bunch of time filling turquoise out on the perimeter of the bangle, that's just all going to get turned off. So you don't want to spend a bunch of time putting turquoise on the outside. We're going to be spending time putting it on the inside, dribbling it in from the inside. Okay, we got some nice. This stuff's great for using as for epoxy. It's called a dam. You can tape it onto your blank, put a little lip, pour epoxy on there. This is also good for this turquoise inlay. So it's just a aluminum tape you can get at Home Depot. It's just really nice for using in this case. So we're going to tape the bangle back together. All right. And we'll start by taping on the sides here and pressing what, it really adheres well. Fold this around, and we're just trying to cover this crack so that when we start sprinkling in the turquoise, it doesn't fall out the backside. Okay. And then we'll do this so the crack goes through to this other side here. We'll put some up here. This stuff really conforms well. Holds everything in. Okay, there we go. So I purposely did not put the blank back together the way, into a tight fit. I actually want a pretty good gap in there. So now we're just going to take some of this turquoise powder that we made a minute ago, and we'll pour that on top of here. Just kind of pile it on. Okay, now just find yourself something to whack with, screwdriver handle or something, and we're just going to vibrate this material. We're just sort of rolling it back and forth. Tapping away, and it's all starting to filter down into that crack. Okay, so now we'll use the dental pick, and we're just kind of brushing it into this crack, poking it down in there. Again, just give yourself some time. You're not in a hurry on this one. You really want to get this packed full. There we go. Okay, and we'll keep tapping. Once you can feel like tapping is bringing more material out of the crack than is going into the crack, then you know you're getting close. And you can tell I'm not tapping as hard as I was at the beginning. If I was just starting to whack away too hard on it, it'll start coming out. And we don't want the material to come out of the crack. We're getting close to just having it topped off here. Okay, now I'm really pressing it down in there. Okay. So I would say probably 90% of the powder that I dumped in there, and it was a decent little pile. is down in the crack. Okay, so take a look at that. And now we're ready to add some drops of thin CA glue. Okay, so we're ready for some thin CA. Use whatever brand you want. Just make sure you have some good ventilation. This stuff's really bad for breathing in, really bad. And we've got this stick fast thin CA. We'll just drip it onto the wood and then let it soak in. So that's soaking in. So now we use our accelerator. Put that on there, that'll fix it. And then we can, once that stuff sort of sets up a little bit, we can take off this, we can start taking off this damming material that we put on here. We'll start from one side. Okay, we don't see any turquoise exposed there. So let's go look on the other side. And as we reveal the crack, we'll start to see where the CA did not penetrate. Okay, so then we'll put a little bit more. And it just soaks right in. Okay, when it stops soaking in, then you've got it. You got it pretty full. We'll hit it with some accelerator. Stuff is kind of a mess. Try not to glue your finger to the bangle. Okay, there we go. Okay, and then we'll put a little thin CA on the back side here. That crack, let it soak in. And that crack's pretty small on the back side, so it's okay. There we go. So now we got this one filled. So now we'll flip it around and do the other side. So we'll use this damming tape again on here. We'll just make sure that it's all set with CA. We don't want any loose turquoise just falling out. And we'll see. There we go. So I put a little CA on there. Really nothing's being absorbed. That's a really good sign. That means that it's filled all the way from the inside out. Okay. So now we're ready to move on to the next step. Okay, so we've done the turquoise inlay on those two cracks. Got this thing glued back together again. I'm going to use the sanding drum with the Dremel tool, flex shaft. Actually, this is a Fordham rotary tool, and just kind of clean up some of these big rough spots, just so it makes it a little more round before you stick it on the chuck. So there we go. Okay, Now we'll chuck it up.